Good morning and welcome back to the channel. I thought I'd do something a little bit different with this week's video. My landing area of the campground, where all the sites are that overlook the lake, they're all full, and our beach camper is also taken. So I figured I would come up here on the top of the hill. This is where all the tent sites are, and just shoot my video entirely from here. Let's get started this week. This is the week of August 13, 14, 15, and 16. And the first thing I want to talk about on this week's video is let's get right to the vacancies that we have for this week, or this weekend, I should say. Starting with our rental situation. For the first time, I think all summer, maybe the second time all summer, we are 100% booked in all of our rental units. So our 2 cabins and the 4 campers that we rent out are fully booked up for this weekend. And that is thanks in large part to Airbnb and Vrbo. Over the past, about a week or so ago, I think right after shooting last week's video, I put all of our rental units on Airbnb and Vrbo, and it has been a huge success. We have seen a huge bump up in rentals on those units. Partly because when I do a search on Airbnb, there is only one other property that is showing up, at least the one search that I did, and maybe I got the dates and stuff wrong, but there is only 1 or 2 camps on Cedar Pond that are set up as Airbnbs. The rest are right here at this campground. So if you want to come stay at Cedar Pond, chances are you're going to have to stay here. Probably should have done that earlier this summer, but here we are. I got it done now, and we are set up going forward in the future with those platforms. And so far it's been a huge success. The previous owner made a comment when I told him that I was doing it. He's like, good luck with that. So I do have experience with Airbnb in the past, and I mean, as long as you play by their rules and you do their way of doing things, it can be a huge success. Yes, they do take a bigger chunk out of the rental units than CampSpot does, but I can adjust my pricing on Airbnb accordingly. I make it clear in all the listings that we are a campground. If they just do a little bit of homework, they can probably book through CampSpot and save themselves some money. But a lot of people are just going ahead and booking through Airbnb anyway. And a lot of that might be because it seems like most of the bookings that are coming in from the non-camping crowd. So these are people that are searching for Airbnbs and hotel rooms exclusively. They don't own a camper, they don't own tents or anything like that, and aren't in tune with the camping lifestyle and the norms that the camping lifestyle comes with. So they, quite frankly, don't know to look at campground websites or camping websites. So yeah, I've offset the extra fees that Airbnb charges by just upping the prices on Airbnb just a little bit, just to compensate for that. And so far it's been a huge success. So now moving on to our full hookup campsites. Right now, as of the moment I'm recording this video, I have 4 full hookup sites available. One is number 5. That's that little one down on the landing that can only accommodate campers up to 24 feet long, so real small campers. And the other 3 are campsites 22, 26, and 29. And those 3 are available for this weekend. You may find that be different when you go onto campspot.com, onto our booking software, and find that you may only see 1 or none available this weekend by the time you see this video. But anyway, that's where we are with the full hookup sites. On the tent side of things, we have quite a few openings available this weekend. First and foremost, 7 and 11, those are the 2 campsites that are on their way up the hill, up to this top level. And then once we get up here, campsites 15, 16, and 17. I'm currently sitting in 15, and as you can see, the bathhouse is right behind me. 16 is directly behind the camera, right over there, and 17 is directly across from it behind the camera right over here. So they're all very close to the bathhouse, and all 5 of those sites, 7, 11, 15, 16, 17, are all available for this weekend. And keep in mind, on any of our 10 sites, even though they don't come with water and power hookups, we can add that for a fee, and I will run power and water to your site for you if you choose to pay the fees for that. And lastly, let's talk about our affordable tent category. Of the 2 sites that I have in the affordable class, these are the $20 a night campsites. Only one of them is available, and that is site number 18, which is directly next to 17, behind the camera, down just below where we are sitting right now. Hey, Future Wayne here. I was going through my editing this morning, and I realized that one of the files that I needed to do my recording, and basically about 5 minutes of some of the talking that I was doing, did not make it on the camera. When I had my battery issues yesterday, basically the camera just abruptly shut itself off, and that file just simply disappeared. It never made it onto the card. So anyway, I've got to fill in the gap this morning right here in the office and store. Here's our little store. And actually I've got some furniture that I just came in that I'm going to use to expand the store along this wall here, so I can have more shelf space to put stuff on. Oh, and I also, if you look out there, that box there is a small fridge. So we will be selling cold drinks instead of having warm drinks sitting here on the counter. So upgrades to the store coming. But anyway, essentially what I need to do is fill in the gap that basically pick up the topics that I was talking about when I had my battery issues, and pick it up until I continued my conversation on the files that actually I did get. The part of my video that got lost when I recorded it, I was talking about some of the fall and fair specials that we have going on. The fall special is when you book 2 straight weekends in a row with an RV or tent or whatever. You can get the 2 weekends. You can keep your campsite set up for the entire 2 weeks without having to pay any extra charges. So essentially the way it works is, for example, book a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 1 week. Keep your campsite set up throughout the week, go home, come back Friday, Saturday night the following week, and you essentially get to keep your whole setup for a couple of weeks. Because quite frankly, let's be honest, the least favorite part about camping is the setup and tear down. It takes time, it's a lot of work, and we would all like to not have to do it. So came up with this fall special. That essentially would allow you to kind of act like a seasonal for a couple of weeks, where that second week you get to just leave your campsite set up and you come right back in, and your campsite is set up when you get here. So the stipulation with that is you got to book a minimum of 5 nights within a 10-day period, and then you can I will block out that site for the 5 days in however many days in between your visits, and then your campsite stays set up with those with that campsite blocked for the time. So if you have any questions on that, certainly give us a call. I'll be happy to explain it further to you. The next special is our fair special, and we have 4 different prices on the fair special. So we have a $199, we have 2 specials at the $499 tier, and then we have a $899 tier. The $199 tier is book a RV or tent site for 3 nights during the fair, which is Labor Day weekend. And for that $199 price, you'll get your 3 nights on your either tent or RV site, and you'll get 2 one-day passes to the fair. One of the $499 specials extends that same promotion to our cabins and campers. So then for $499, you'd get 3 nights, 2 one-day passes to the fair, and you're staying the 3 nights in one of our campers or one of our cabins. The other $499 special is for back on the tent site and camper site. It's for all 6 nights of the fair, and you would get 2 season passes to the fair. So you could go every day to the fair, or you could go 1 or 2, or however you want to do it. But you would stay 6 nights on a tent site or a camper RV site, and you get 2 season passes to the fair for $4.99. And then the $8.99 extends that promotion to the campers and cabins. So then you would be renting a camper or a cabin for 6 nights, get 2 season passes, all for $8.99. And if you price everything out as to what everything would cost, you'll find that there's a pretty good savings there if you do it that way. And I happen to hear through the grapevine that all of the campsites that are at the fairgrounds are fully booked for this year, unless they have some cancellations at the last minute. So there's really not much availability at the fairgrounds. And quite frankly, I wouldn't want to stay at the fairgrounds unless I was like a vendor or something, because it's, you know, you're up late. There's a lot of noise, a lot of lights. It's not quiet. Campers are packed in like sardines. Be nice if, you know, to make the extra 30-minute drive, because that's all we are, just 30 minutes from the fairgrounds. You'd be able to, you know, escape that whole zoo atmosphere, come to the quiet, serene park that we have, and then get some good rest before going back to the fair the next day. So that's the fair special. All right, now we can get back to me recording outdoors in the tent area of our campground. All right, next thing I wanted to talk about is our game day events. We are going to do watch parties for football game days. And essentially what that entails is specific dates, first of all. September 9, September 13, September 20th, September 27th, October 4th, October 11th, October 18th, and October 25th are all game day watch parties that we're going to be having. And essentially what we're going to be doing is with that is a couple of those dates are night games. So if it's a night game, we're going to pull out the projector and our 120-inch projector screen, and we're going to watch the game in the evening in the pavilion on the big screen. So that's what we're going to do for the night games. For the day games, we're going to do on the small television down in the pavilion. We're going to have the game on. And we're basically going to do, all the day games are on Sundays. We're basically going to do Sunday cookout. And if you happen to be staying here during those days, and you're supposed to be checking out on those days, we are going to extend the checkout time to the end of the game so that you can enjoy your time here, watch the game with the rest of the people in the campground, and then you can pack up and go once the game is over. And what we're going to do is basically potluck style. We're going to fire up the grill. We're going to fire up the Blackstone. We're going to, just basically have a good time, socialize, watch the game, cheer on our favorite teams, and then essentially just have a good time enjoying Sunday football. So yeah, that's what we're going to do with game days. If you have any questions about that, feel free to contact us and we can give you more details. Another event coming up, September 11th, we are going to have the annual Memorial Walk. And what we do is we have a lot of our firefighters, first responders will come, and they do a memorial walk around Cedar Pond. It's a 2-mile loop, the road that goes all the way around the lake. And they walk it twice. Anybody is free to join them and walk with them. You can walk 1 lap, you can walk both laps. It's up to you. Basically what they do, it's a late afternoon start, and then by the time they're done walking, the sun will basically have mostly set and it will be a lot quieter. And then what we're going to do is essentially after the walk is over, sounds like we're going to have some burgers and dogs, but don't quote me on that. I will have more details as we get closer. This is an event that's open to the public. You don't need to be staying here to participate in this event. And then after dinner is over, and you can feel free to bring, we can do this potluck style as well. Feel free to bring your favorite dish and feed our first responders. They always enjoy some food. But after dinner, as it gets dark, we're going to be observing the lights that are coming up from Mount Washington. If you haven't heard, what is happening is the lights that used to light up Ground Zero, the 2 columns of lights that we remember seeing, and I'll put a picture of it over the top of me talking, that used to light up Ground Zero or that lower Manhattan area in New York for the last 25 years. They're moving those lights to the summit of Mount Washington this year. So from September 9th through the 12th, they are going to be lighting up those lights on top of the mountain. And even though we cannot see the summit of Mount Washington from our campground, we can see the presidential range. Mount Adams actually blocks the view of the summit of Mount Washington. Adams is almost as tall as Washington, and Washington sits directly behind it. So as we look from our vantage point at Mount Adams, we should see the light columns coming up from behind Mount Adams that evening. So yeah, first it's the walk, then it's dinner, and then we're gonna observe the lights from the top of our landing overlooking the lake. And again, that event is open to the public. Anybody can come. There's no charge for it. Just come. Bring food if you want to. You don't have to. It's just going to be a good way to commemorate, which I believe is the 25th anniversary of the event that happened there in New York City. All right. Another thing I haven't talked about much is every Saturday night here at the campground, and this happens every Saturday, weather permitting, we have a community campfire. We built a bigger campfire pit down on the beach. It's directly on the beach, so you're right down next to the water overlooking the lake with the great view of the mountains in the background. And what we do is anybody who's staying here on Saturday night, we circulate the news. We invite everybody down to the fire pit. Bring your own chairs because we don't have enough chairs for everybody. And what we do is we just sit in just a big, huge circle around the campfire and basically get to know everybody, get to know each other. Just have a good time talking, telling stories, roasting marshmallows, just a good old community campfire. This campground is small enough that we can do that. We've probably had 30, 40 people down there before in the past. So it's a good time. And while we're down there, you can play cornhole. We can do volleyball, badminton. We got all the games down there. It's just one thing that we've been doing probably since a little bit before July 4th weekend. That we've been doing this almost every Saturday night. We've had a couple where we've had rainouts where we haven't been able to do it, but most Saturday nights, if the weather's nice, if it's not going to be raining, we're going to be down on the beach for our community fire every Saturday night. So that's one other thing. And of course, that is also no charge to anyone, but you do need to be staying here in the campground in order to participate in that because we can't have everybody come. Oh, and speaking of the beach, I don't know if I mentioned it in last week's video, but we have opened the beach to the general public. It is limited hours because I have to be sensitive to our campers' desires. I took a poll of some of our seasonal campers and some of our weekend warrior campers. They overwhelmingly felt that the private beach or the beach here in the campground should be reserved certain times of the week for just people who are staying here in the campground so we don't have to fight big crowds down on the beach. So I am opening the beach to the public for anybody to just come and use it for the day and not have to book a site here to stay. But that comes with restricted hours so that I can be sensitive to the needs of the people who actually are paying extra to stay here at the campground because they want that beach. So we are going to be having limited hours on the beach, but it is available for anybody to come. You don't have to stay here. You can just come, pay the fees, and then go down and use the beach for the day. And the hours are Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So unfortunately, I can't open it up on the weekends because the campground does fill up quite a bit on the weekends, and the beach does get quite a bit of use on the weekends for the people or by the people who are staying here in the campground. And it really wouldn't be fair to them if I throw additional crowds in on top of their access to the beach. By staying here, that's kind of what they're paying for, is to be able to come and use the beach and not have to fight big crowds at the state parks kind of thing. So hopefully y'all understand the public beach use does have to be restricted to times when we don't have as many campers here in the campground, which is that Monday through Friday during the day. The fees for using the beach, $7 for adults, $3 for kids from 6 to 11, and kids 5 and under are only $1. So those are the prices. And just stop into the office if you want to come and use the beach, pay the fees. We'll let you down on the beach and you can have at it for the whole day. We have a few strict rules about the beach just for the safety of everybody. Number one, no glass. So no glass bottles, no glass of any kind, not okay. Fishing inside the swim line, not okay, because we don't want people stepping on fish hooks while they're trying to swim. So feel free if you want to come and use the beach to fish outside the swim line, but inside the swim line, that is for swimming only. And then, of course, any motorized boats have to stay outside the swim line as well. So it's all common sense stuff. It shouldn't be a problem for anybody. We also don't allow alcoholic beverages on the beach just because, you know, it's the middle of the day. There are a lot of kids around. We just we don't want to get things out of hand by people that are overindulging on the wobbly pop. All right, and one other announcement about the store that I've got. I showed you the store. It was either last week or the week before, and I've added one more highly asked for item to the store, and that is ice cream. Essentially the way we're going to be doing ice cream is it's all novelty items. I don't have any scoops of ice cream or anything like that, or pints or gallons or anything like that. These are all like novelties, like the cones and the chocolate chip sandwiches with ice cream in the middle, Klondike bars, you know, that kind of stuff. So we have a number of ice cream items available at our store. Most of them are very inexpensive. They're usually either $1 or $2, depending on the item. So we added that in terms of the beach. And the last thing I wanted to talk about today, last night I went through CampSpot, which is our booking system, and I opened up availability for 2027. So all of our campsites, RV rentals, camper rentals, cabin rentals, tent sites, RV sites, everything that we have here in terms of site bookings is all live for 2027. So if you are a planner and you like to plan way in advance and want to get your favorite site here at the campground, as of last night, the booking system is for 2027 is up and running and online. So feel free to go in and book your sites that you need. I know the big weekends fill up fast. 4th of July, Jericho ATV weekend, Memorial Day weekend, Labor Day weekend. Those weekends all fill up really, really fast. So if you want to book something in particular for those weekends, you definitely want to get in there and grab your favorite spot today. So that's all I have for you this week. If you have any questions on anything, feel free to give us a call, 603-631-5753. Or you can go on to our booking site on CampSpot. Just search for Cedar Pond Campground, or you can also find a link to our booking site on our website at cedarpondcampground.com, and you can just click the link and it'll take you right to CampSpot to book your site. So with that, go ahead and end it. We'll talk to you next week, and bye for now.